It's too soon for us to get an accurate picture of the academic toll the pandemic has taken on students. We do know it will likely be worse for children who don't have equal access to the internet and for kids, of course, with special needs. There's a new state bill, AB 104, hopes to make things a little easier for those students and their families. Among the provisions, the opportunity for high school kids to change a pass, no pass on their transcript, pardon me. It would provide for children of all grades to possibly retake their grade. It would also allow students to enroll in a fifth year of high school if that would help them graduate, and of course provide funding to schools based on the number of underserved students they enroll. Joining us now is one of the authors of that bill, Assemblywoman Lorena Gonzalez. Assemblywoman, thank you so much for joining us. As we mentioned, there's several things in this bill, but the two things that really stood out to us, this idea of retaking a grade level and a fifth year of high school.
And, you know, those kind of complement each other. But what we know is this: there are a lot of kids who, in fact, 130,000 statewide, that have not even logged into their Zoom classroom. So we have a lot of kids who may have missed the entire year. Now, those fall into two categories mainly. Those in high school, often having to go work because their parents are out of work or sick, or just couldn't do the online, couldn't get online, couldn't quite get there. And then we know that there are some young kids who have really, really struggled. Just, you know, you can imagine kindergarten or first grade online doesn't work for everybody. And so what we wanted to do was really to put the power back in the hands of parents, students and teachers, and allow parents the choice, the opportunity to seek a redo of the year for their child. So in California, historically, we are a state that believes in social promotion. So we have no system by which parents can go ask for their child to redo a grade. And that's what we're trying to establish here.
Look, there is going to be a group of voices that will say this bill isn't benefiting all students. How do you respond to that?
I actually think this bill is benefiting all students who have a need. So we've tried to just come up with real specific tailored opportunities. So it's kids who may need to redo the entire grade. And I think parents know when those kids just haven't had anything this year, and depending on the year, they really might need to redo the grade. Kids who in any situation who might not have now enough credits to graduate from high school, you know, getting your high school diploma is essential. And so if we can provide these kids another year for credit recovery, I think that's worth it. The other thing we have in this package, and this is really for kids that, you know, might have been doing okay before the pandemic. They were on track to go to a CSU or a UC. They had good grades, you know, maybe a A and B average. And then all of a sudden the pandemic comes and they just couldn't do one of their classes well online. So it drops their grade point average because they get a C or D. What we want them to be able to do is to exchange that letter grade for a pass, no pass, so that it doesn't kill their chances of going off to college just because they were stuck in this situation.
I'm really glad you actually drilled down on that, because not having school-age kids at home, that is a part that I didn't understand, and you really highlighted it very well for us. Well, let's talk about where this stands right now. What is the status of the bill? Are you expecting a vote on it anytime soon?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited. It's been flying through the process early. It has an urgency clause because we really need to get this done and signed. If it's going to matter for the next school year, we need to do it now. It is past its first policy committee in Assembly Education. It passed Assembly Appropriations this week, and it'll be on the floor of the Assembly, hopefully in the next week or two. And then we've got to go over to the Senate and do the same thing. But hopefully we can do it really quickly, as we've been able to do so far, because the goal is to get this to the governor as soon as possible, so there can be some certainty, and some parents can look at these options and say, you know, what's best for my kids. I know, as a parent myself, I have 3 boys at home who've been learning online, and they all take it differently. But talking to just my constituents, as well as like kind of my girlfriends, you know, you realize there are so many different situations people are dealing with, and we just need to give folks options and hold kids to no harm through all this.
Look, you represent the 80th district, which encompasses southern San Diego, but I got to tell you, this is an issue that affects kids all over the nation. I would argue all over the world. You have purview here in California, so you're doing what you can at least to help our California kids. We know, I think the one thing that we could all agree on is that next year is going to be a bit of a mess scholastically, trying to figure it all out. So we appreciate the fact that you're trying to do something about it. If we want to read more, because we just sort of scratched the surface, she's well versed in this, and you want to get up to speed, you can read more on the Assembly Bill 104 by visiting the district website at a80.asmdc.org. It's right there on a screen if you want to take a little photo with your cell phone. Assemblywoman Gonzalez, thank you so much for your efforts and for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
And good luck with those boys. I'm sure they're eating you out of house and home. All right.